ye nyabri gone. Ye nyabri gone.
Yansa Fuatam. Last week Thursday, Mitina Class FM, I described doctors and nurses as useless. In quotes. And I say elsewhere, nurses and doctors value life first, aside from personal interests. Say nurses and doctors are useless, and elsewhere you won't find people like doctors being.
But also Ghana, me say, me very very useful. My name is colleague doctors, be bringing nurses very useful. Kakrabi,
I have my reservation, and I'll tell you why.
Nurses. I said, we go kakra na emi mobile. Now, mebu, asama SC a friend saying regional hospital honum. She said, Ekoban is saying asem na she abe all about nurses now. Because I don't doctors also who be you. As a nurses no kwana eya mutimi nyo amubuli omu. Because me ti ase asama SC I say ye na ye hunya e course. But I say I said bibia no person move and share nurses no come. But that is one, by the way. Nipa, Papa be a friend of Haruna Mohammed. Papa be a NDC ni. Last week, or trendy pa, essence of Beka say nurses for no we are useless. And I said there be won't make us so. I did not say even Nipa Baku cry with Nakoka some na chair. I want to make fun nurses ni na bo one category. Musa say we are useless. Need the anti pa only as no frame. Ene awako tina Accra FM. Na nyosan kan no. And nyosan kan no. Oh, Debbie. Enya menyo kun. Asem no entwa yi. Na enti when na eka freedom of expression no. And the freedom of expression is where they assemble back. Me Canada mo. Freedom of expression, they assemble back, papa. Use it cause champagne in radio so. Radio that you don't know if children are listening, if teenagers are listening, if senior citizens are listening or not, you know. Team use word we say cause champagne and all the rest. You use. They say, and nekra wasa asem no kra. Wasa asem no. And they say they forget wasa asem no kra. Yeah, nyabri. Bye-bye.
Say, Michelle, and then I mean, we share programs, and I respect you, under no circumstance. But people like General Secretary can make people generalize their terms because some man share pain. My assumption is say you are leading fools. Because me, Anka, if I were part of the association, I would have written my reservation about Sakosia Penina or the nurses and midwifery. Oh, so I could opinion. My Shanope is a useless dude. Only nyasa kiti. So I don't respect people like them.
So you respect Nanaye, Dr. Ayasenka
to write and disassociate himself. I'm coming. To write, no, you are a doctor.
But I'm not part of nurses.
I'm just saying that you are a doctor. Maybe you are a doctor.
With good standing.
With good standing. And they work hand in hand under your doctors.
They don't work under us.
Without me, I am not correct.
But they don't work under doctors.
They work without nurses. That's what I'm saying. Without nurses, doctors cannot operate. Without doctors, nurses are useless. So that is where I'm saying I'm coming from.
That's fine, no problem.
What do I say? So if a good standing doctor like you, and I know the people are now your colleagues that you can't vouch to say Omu are the same, category with who you are as in person. No? I'm sure, you should have risen some concern. Raise certain concerns that people will side with you. And I said this, a lot of them are useless in a sense. When you go to the hospital, they prioritize nia ombenya more than to prioritize lives first. And I issued certain instances. Personally, my experience. And Sadano, we share videos now. I have been one person who has been trending since last week. Simple because of and politicians, MPP4. What do you say? And in this country, do wanna have raised concerns under Akufo-Addo's tenure? Say what about politicizing every institution and political groups in this country. That was his major achievement as a president for the past 8 years. And you can't want to say Musa to the extent say, even when you are not identified, they try to identify who is going to criticize Akufo-Addo in the next minute. And Ukaya, in the past, you come here in the evening to talk about what is happening in this country. You're poor, because you don't know who is coming after you in the next minute. And Ukaya, in the past, you come here in the evening to talk about what is happening in this country. You're poor, because you don't know who is coming after you. But all of this would happen under Mohammed because you're northerner. Let's be frank. All this, you can say, Mohammed is tolerating this nonsense because we're a patriotic citizen. Mohammed is tolerating all this nonsense because his upbringing, no. Say, we a penny, we are kwala, we are so respect for humanity is what they used to train him from infancy. Yeah, if you listen to that useless, look, I don't want to be Sa Asemi Mikaya. The very first time Michiano during the demonstration, your friend saying strike no.
Recent one.
Yeah, just recent one. Michiano. And I'll be say, oh, so Penny Adena ya o kasa say, I believe you are a leader and all this. So masa ja. You become one some later. I coin. And I me call ye. So you can see, say by upbringing, no, he's not affable. Or you be his mind is said that MPP first, not Oman Ghana. MPP first. So whatever MPP beka about Omaino, beka about nurses, no, that is where or no befa. So these are people, at least as a country, we should single-handled by their deeds and by their actions. I won't be wrong. Say he's a lunatic. He has psychiatric problems. Because as someone who is leading a sensitive organization and for that matter a group, NDC 4 MPP 4 NDC 4 CPP PSC 4 and you come out to lead such sensitive leader group and your political affiliation is obvious. It's just say such person is endemic to the growth of this country. For that matter, yeah, at least doctor, at least so that we can come out to expand certain people within the leadership of your profession. And yes, idea, time will come. People will always go there and create problems. Last time, Commander Ukaya Mibaha, the negligence of a doctor that led to the death of my wife. Wakai, yes. And Sadano so no mekai pa say me bisa obi say if for any reason doctor who yaria your colleague doctor never show. And if no matter how good doctor you are, utu kwaya that ABR ability and another useless doctor somewhere will take care of you. And I mean what? So there are certain things when you are doing it, be mindful. Say, how about the next minute? Say, what would happen? What would happen? This rough issue, I watched the video and stage now nurses no stage no me who yapenda make us say kai. The general secretary of this association would come out and say certain things and without listening to even the other side of the story.